Go.
Alright guys, so if you did not do your homework, you really do need to turn it in. We're gonna go through the agenda real quick. So how about Diego? Wanna be a volunteer?
Come on, babe.
Or Michael?
I prefer not on very shy.
You're really shy, okay, so you read the outcome for me, please. After you're done, like, you have food all over your hands.
Not mine.
Students will analyze the chapter My Name
From Sandra.
Cisneros, The House on Mango Street, and the topic of author style through the completion of My Name, stylistic imitation writing.
Okay, pass it this way. So basically, guys, all we're doing today, we are gonna pull out actually the paper that we worked on yesterday with the Romeo and Juliet speech, what's in a name, and on the back side is the actual document that we're gonna be using. So if you can pull this out of your folder, pull it out now.
What paper?
This one with the rose on the front.
The one,
With the Romeo and Juliet, yeah, so you guys should have started it, so Alex, if you can do me a favor and pull it out, Diego, same with you. Henry, if you can pull it out as well. Henry,
Please.
just pull this paper out for me. We're gonna listen to My Name and analyze it, so we're gonna go around and read, and you're listening to your classmates read the My Names, the actual chapter, and then we'll do a stylistic writing. So you guys get to read my mini chapter first, which you can make fun of me if you want, and then you're gonna write your own about your own name.
You don't worry, Miss Puffin, I'll put it in.
You totally will make fun. Cool. You know what you can do for me though, Diego? Go next door and grab the papers off of the printer. Alright, so if you can, turn to page 10 and 11 for me in the book while Diego goes and gets the papers that we're gonna be answering. So flip to 10 and 11. And who wants to be our first reader when he comes back? Okay, we're gonna wait for him though. Hopefully the things came off the printer. If not, we'll just go through the questions without it. It's taking a long time. Were you able to get them?
Yeah.
Cool, can you pass them out real quick?
Uh-huh. What page?
Page 10. So if you guys remember, one thing that's nice about this reading for House on Mango Street is that it is very short. So every chapter is only 2 pages long. So take a look at it right now while Diego's passing out the papers. Tony, you're gonna start with the ball in just a second. And did my thing, no, it didn't shut off.
Miss Cochran, what do you want me to do with the extra papers?
I'll take some.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
And Faith. So, some of the questions are right here. You do not need to answer them while we are reading. So you can listen and we can always come back to these. But I'm gonna read them off just so you can think about these questions as they come up. So what does her name mean? If you remember her, the main character's name is what? No, that's the author.
Esperanza.
Esperanza is our main character. So what does her name mean?
Hope.
There you go, there's the first one that you haven't even read it yet. After whom was she named? Why does she connect her name with the records her father plays on Sunday morning? What point does Esperanza make about both the Chinese and the Mexicans? How did her grandmother get married? what happened in Esperanza's to her grandmother to tell you about women's roles in Mexican society, and why does she want to baptize herself with a new name? So Tony's actually gonna read the first page.
In English, my name means hope.
Hold on. So everyone should be looking at it right now.
Let me speak to
In English, my name means hope. In Spanish, it means too many letters. It means sadness, it means waiting. And it's like the number 9, a muddy color. It is the Mexican records my dad play on Sunday mornings when he is shaving, songs like Sobbing. It was my great-grandmother's name, and now it is mine. She was a horsewoman too, born like me in the Chinese year of the horse, which is supposed to be bad luck if you're born female. But I think this is a Chinese lie because the Chinese, like the Mexicans, don't like their women strong.
Pass it on to someone else.
My great-grandmother, I would have liked to have known her. A wild horse of a woman, so wild she wouldn't mare. Until my great-grandfather threw a sack over her head and carried her off. Just like that, as if she were a fancy
Chandelier.
chandelier. That's the way he did it. And the story goes, she never forgave him. She looked out the window her whole life, the way so many women sit their sadness on an elbow. I wonder if she made the best with what she got, or what she saw because she couldn't be all the things she wanted to be. Esperanza. I haven't heard her name, but I don't want to inherit her place by the window. At school they say my name funny as if the syllables were made out of tin and hurt the roof of her mouth. But in Spanish my name is made out of a softer something like silver, not quite as thick as sister's name, Magdalena, which is uglier than mine. Magdalena, who at least can come home and become Nenny. But I'm always Esperanza.
Alright, pass it on for
I'll go
one more reader for the last part. Diego, do you wanna read the last bit? It's one paragraph.
Is it?
I would like to baptize myself.
I would like to baptize myself under a new name, like the real me, that no one else sees. Esperanza, how do you say that?
As Lysandra.
As Lysandra, or Marta, or
ZZ.
Zizi, the X. Yes, something like Zizi, the X. Will do.
Very good. Did anyone read that and say I had no idea what the heck that chapter was about?
I don't understand what the grandmother did, the granddad.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about that. So let's go through these comprehension questions. I anticipate this only to take like 5 minutes or so. Because we're just gonna we wanna understand what was the purpose of this. Anyone have an idea maybe?
No,
About what?
yeah, I have a question.
Okay,
Why does she want to change, why does she want to change her name to Zizi?
ZZDX. What does that sound like? Not a dinosaur.
I don't think it was quite the X, maybe the 5th. It looked more so like a Roman numeral than an
No,
actual
actually,
X.
if we were to, I normally I would have you listen to it, we're not gonna listen to it. ZZDX is gonna stand for something. Have you, like, when you're a little kid, have you ever wanted like a super power or super, like you think
No.
you're
But you wanna be a superhero.
a superhero or
Like
some
a
kind of like
T-Rex,
character of some sort? That's a really good point though. She does say ZZ the X though, not ZZ the 5th, but she could, or, I mean, you could interpret it that maybe she wanted to be like a royal or something. ZZ the Axe kind of sounds like it could be someone with some kind of power. But ZZ the Axe, she kind of wants this different lifestyle, and maybe it goes along with cartoons or something along those lines. Let's start with the beginning part though first before we go with ZZ the Axe by the end. So, what does her name mean?
Hope.
Hope, sadness.
Hope, sadness, you can write any of those words down. And she even says in different languages, in English it means hope, in Spanish it means too many letters. Not necessarily it means too many letters, but you can tell that her name might be, when you're a little kid, hard to say. So if you're in an English school, Esperanza, there's a lot of letters in there.
Esperanza.
It means sadness, it means waiting. Not in a specific language, but maybe that's kind of how she feels about her name, sadness and that waiting. What is she waiting for?
Probably her dream house.
Her dream house or friends, yeah, you can make that connection right there. Who was she named after?
Her great-grandmother.
Great grandmother, perfect, you can just answer that one. Great grandmother, if you are not writing down, you should be writing it down, Alex. I am going through with you guys. Why does she connect her name with the records her father plays on Sunday morning? This is gonna be important when you guys do your writing assignment.
Because there's that.
Not sad.
When he was like sobby.
Well, she makes this, it is the Mexican records my father plays on Sunday mornings.
I guess.
But what is that right there besides, if you were just to read, my father's playing records on Sunday mornings?
Church.
You might think of church, but might be a memory. So part of who you are some of the memories that you have. Is there anyone who has a specific memory that stands out to them? Like a childhood memory?
Yeah.
You have no childhood memories?
No, I don't.
Lost my memory.
You mean Christian?
But there's no like traditions in your family?
No.
Somos mexicanos.
What about like, what's your tradition on Christmas Eve?
Make carne asada, that's it.
I go to sleep.
Carne asada.
Carne
Make
asada.
tamales, man.
Yeah.
Tamales better than.
No one had,
I go Christmas caroling. No.
well, that would be, if you went Christmas caroling on Christmas Eve, that might be a memory that you would have with your family. She's talking about a lot of sadness and everything, but she makes this connection to her name because it's a
We
happy,
celebrate Dia de los Muertos.
it's a memory that goes along with her name.
You know what I'm saying?
So let's put this down, if you're not under, a memory,
Hey, what?
memory that she connects with could be your answer.
Oh, Fortnite.
I think this is gonna be important for you because you're gonna have to make a connection in your writing piece with some kind of memory that might come to mind. Maybe you have a Friday night dinner of some sort. What point does Esperanza make about both the Chinese and the Mexicans?
Oh, they don't like strong women.
They don't like strong women. It's an interesting point. Let's consider the time period. Think about the culture piece to it. They don't like this strong, independent women that go along with their families. And how might she feel in her own family? Does she feel like a strong, independent woman? Or young girl?
No.
Who does she feel held back by?
Family.
Her sister.
Her family, her sister. So she makes this point about both the Chinese family and Mexicans, where they have this connection with one another. And she does seem to resent this. I mean, there is definitely this piece where she talked about in an earlier chapter that she wants to be strong and independent. How did her grandmother get married?
It did tell us, right?
It did.
She was kidnapped.
And she was kidnapped by her. Do you think he really threw a sack over her head though and
No.
married her?
Yeah. No.
Mexican tradition.
Yeah.
A Mexican tradition is that you just throw a
That's
sack
how your
over the
mom
head
got
and then you
it,
go for
Yeah.
it.
That's not how you do it.
Yeah, you do.
Keep
Well,
bringing
in
family.
the olden times, yes, but now right now. Yeah.
Right now, they still do that.
Yeah. It's like, it's not Mexican, that's why you don't know.
Well, I think it also is it is not necessarily such a literal sense too. It's the fact that you're talking about this, how women are not seen as strong people. And that it's almost like her grandfather was like, we're getting married, let's go. Throws it over her shoulder and they go and get married
Yeah.
very quickly.
Oh, so it's
Not easy, man. You got to buy her flowers like that.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Well, he's just saying it was very easy. The women didn't have that same kind of say right
You
there.
don't have to spend money on the ring. You know
She
what I'm
what?
Why she hate him?
Why is the
That is a
grandmother?
stupid
Yeah,
question.
She'll never forgive him.
Yeah, she'll never
She's a
forgive him.
kidnapped
She
boy.
looked out the window her whole life. Does anyone have an image that comes to mind?
Oh, 'cause she couldn't go places and stuff.
She what?
She couldn't like really do stuff.
Yeah, she couldn't do stuff. That like, if you were like, I picture like this like young, sad girl like sitting by a window, staring out. It's a rainy day, and just can't go on and like. There's nothing that she can look forward to in life. She's kind of stuck in the shadows of her husband.
She's no longer a person. She's now more considered property.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a really good way to put it. She never actually developed as a person. And Esperanza is named after this woman. So she might feel trapped, just kind of like her grandmother felt trapped in this relationship. And she's kind of trapped in her family. She hasn't fully found herself as a young girl. So at school, they say my name funny. I think this is interesting. How many of you guys have had your teachers mispronounce your name?
They call me
There's some of you
Melvin.
that might not.
Melvin.
Michael,
They call me Michelle.
I don't think many people call you Michelle.
I call you Michelle.
Faith is pretty easy. That one's pretty easy.
Some people call me Melvin.
Christian,
What?
please,
Melvin?
leave me alone.
Yeah.
Louise might be messed up though sometimes. They
Yeah.
say Louis.
They say Louis.
Louis or Louise.
Yeah.
Michael, you might not get messed up. Henry's pretty simple. Delonte, I feel people might mess up it. Has anyone ever messed up your name?
Marvin, call him TT.
Marvin, he said Melvin
Yeah, Melvin.
sometimes. So at school sometimes you think about what other people say about your name.
Tiago.
And those things that might come to mind. So you're gonna keep that in mind when you go to write your story.
Tony, they say
Diego,
Yeah,
I
they
think
say
your name's
Tony
pretty,
Straightforward.
it is, but it's what people say about it. She says, oh, I don't really like my name at school. People say it wrong. People used to always call me Carolyn.
Oh,
Old
no, that's
teachers used to call me that. Like Carolyn is more popular
That's
in the
sticky.
olden days than Caroline.
That's sticky.
And it was like,
Yeah.
it like stuck with me too. I like hated when people called me that.
That's sticky.
And then she talks about she can't give Esperanza a nickname. So her sister can become Nenny, but I stay as Esperanza.
It doesn't Esperanza.
And I would like to
means
baptize what?
Faith in English.
Well,
It means hope.
Oh.
Like,
sorry, if you're
It's almost
close.
the same.
Hope, faith, I mean, kind of goes somewhat in line with one another. And then she says, I would like to change my name to something like Lysandra or Maritza or ZZ the Axe. ZZ the Axe sounds like a cool character from a book.
No, from a cartoon,
From a
superhero.
Superhero, yeah. Alright, so we're gonna, let's skip the last couple questions. So we're gonna skip actually the personal connection too right now and move on to the actual writing assignment.
We gotta wait now.
Yeah, so you're gonna go actually on your, the paper that has the rows on it. So everyone, why don't we stand up for a second, my sleepy people. It's a writing day. You're gonna have to write.
Take this.
Alex, Oh, you need, yeah, that's right. So we'll talk about the Romeo and Juliet piece in a second, but you're gonna be answering these questions about your name and writing your own. Alright, so as that's happening, you're gonna turn over that rose paper. I would love to find an example of my name on House on Mango. Video.
You know how to say your name in Spanish? Carolina.
Carolina.
I do know how to say my name in Spanish, yeah, and we'll take the time to look up some different ones as we go.
Let's take karaoke. Karaoke.
Tiny.
In English.
That was you.
Yeah.
I did what?
She don't.
And I'm really sorry, I could not find my, there was a really cool example on the computer of some videos that were made as stylistic. Alright, let's refocus for directions. Here, pass it along.
Ooh.
Um,
Go sit down, Tiny.
I have asked you a couple times, stop. Are you disappointed? Yeah. Alright, well, that's too bad. I had some cool videos, I'm gonna try to pull them up, for some reason I can't find them at the moment. But you're gonna write your own chapter. So, one thing with stylistic imitation, what happens with imitation? What does imitation mean? Copy. Have you ever played Simon Says?
Yeah.
Simon, you've never played Simon Says?
Get up.
He plays Simon Says.
Yeah, back in like elementary school, Simon Says. So with stylistic imitation, you're playing Simon Says with the chapter. So you're gonna look at the chapter and try to imitate it by putting your own personal connection in there. And that goes along with the questions that were asked on top. So, would you like me to read mine? But I looked at the chapter and I took pieces out of that chapter and put them into my own writing.
Don't y'all do
Alex,
research?
stand up, please.
Don't
You're gonna have to stand up too if you can't. What?
don't y'all do research and stuff? Or no?
No, I'm gonna look up your names for you. So that piece, if you don't know it yet, I'll look it up, or I have an iPad too, so you can look it up on the iPad. We can like divide and conquer on those.
Play Fortnite.
No. Alright. Or would someone like to read mine? Might be more personal if I read it.
Shouldn't like you read it?
Yeah. I think so. Alright, in English, my name means joy. In French, it means song of happiness. In Italian, it means strong. It is like the number 32, a light bluish color. It was my mother's best friend's name, and now it is mine. They became friends when they were 2 years old. They played and played outside until they were 9. Then my mother moved away and had to get new friends. But she always remembered her childhood friend. She found out she was having a daughter, and she knew this was a way to always keep her best friend's name alive in her life. At school, no one else had my name in my class. I liked being the only one with my name. I stood out. When they called my name, I knew they were talking to me and me only. Sometimes teachers pronounced my name wrong. They said Carolyn. I did not like that. It made me sound like one of those old ladies who spends her time getting her hair permed. On the sports field, I was proud. When the announcer said my name, I would gain a new sense of confidence. Sometimes I wish my parents named my brother's name Ryan. My mom said she almost did. It was her favorite name, and she knew she wanted to have a child named Ryan. She changed her mind at the last minute because she prayed she would have a boy after me. She got her wish. So here I am, Caroline. So there's some pieces in here that I just want you guys to consider before you try on your own. I will help you look your name up. What? It's not that long. Really, the second paragraph is the story of where my name came from. So maybe yours is as simple as you're Michael Jr., and you were named after someone. Just like Esperanza, she was named after her grandmother. It was like the number 32. Why do you think I might have chose that? Ooh, don't go there. 32 was my jersey number in college, so if someone were to say, hey Tony, what number would you give your name? What number do you think best
I'm
represents
giving
you?
mine,
Thousand.
question.
I'm number 6.
99.
I'm 15, boys.
7 is your favorite number. You can be as simple as 7 is your favorite number. 17, it could be number 4 because your
I'll give
name
mine
is,
69.
Tony is 4 letters long. Whatever you want. A light bluish color, I chose that because it's my favorite color. Thought it sounds nice. I would go along with the Seahawks too. My next paragraph is about how I got my name. I did my at school part, and I did how it made me feel at school, and I also did the sports field because I feel that I connect with sports. And then the last part is kind of like the ZZDX part. So you can look at, would you change your name? Would you keep your name the same? I like my name. There's no reason why I would change it. Or this is what I would change it to. Do we have any questions? So on that backside that you guys started on, you're gonna answer the questions up top to help you get an idea. And really you can write your imitation like mine. You could use the book for help, and you also can use your sentence starters up here, or your prompts of what you should be talking about in your little mini piece.
What's your name up first?
It really is, so it says, what does it say?
Write your name.
What's that?
Write my name. Chapter below. It should be no less than 8 sentences.
Okay, so mine is way more than 8 sentences. This is a mini written piece with an imitation. So you're taking those things out of the top that helped you with, is prompting you what you're writing about, using the book and using mine as a guide. So we can start looking some different
Me first.
names up,
Alright, I probably have it.
and I can get the iPad too for those
You look fuming.
50 things.
Shotgun.